Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to do a brief review of this Henna Applicator bottle set. If you're wanting to see how the applicator set is used and see me applying henna with it, I do have another video in which I've already done that, so I'll go ahead and put a link in the information box below and you can watch that video. But today I'm just going to talk about what's included in the kit and just briefly how it works. And so I'm going to go ahead and take out all the tips and the bottles and everything that's included. And there are several different ways to apply henna. Cone is the most popular. You'll see syringes used all over Morocco and parts of North Africa. And then you can also use jack bottles. What I have here is kind of a combination between the jack bottle and the Moroccan syringe tip. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of these tips out because this kit comes with quite a few tips and they're all pretty different. Take everything out of the packaging here. And so you've got these kind of long pointy ones here. There's 4 of those. There's some stainless steel tips here. These guys are my favorite. There are some metal tips with these guys here that have kind of a color coating on them. Let's see if I can get a close up for you. So that's much better, so you can see things a little bit closer. So we've got those, which I've seen and used many times before. So there's 5 of those. And then these stainless steel ones that are very similar to the Moroccan syringe applicator tips, and I have one on my bottle as well, and they come in several different gauge sizes. Come on, focus. I want to show you the gauge size on that. So this is number 19, and these ones are the only ones that are labeled with the gauge sizes. There are some plastic ones here that have the same color coating as the other ones, but the tips on these are white plastic. So that's the main difference between these, and they're not labeled with any sort of gauge size. They're just kind of color coded, and I'm not quite sure what those color codes mean, but I do know that these particular tips are called lure lock tips, and they're used for other things other than henna, of course. I believe they're used in manufacturing electronics as well. And then you've got these plastic pointy ones. I'm not such a fan of these guys here. Let's see if I can get them in the full view there. So I'm not quite a fan of those, so I probably won't be using those. This kit comes with quite a few tips. I just believe that these ones are way too long. They're quite a bit longer than the other tips that are included in the kit. I'll just put that there for comparison. For me as a henna artist, it's really easier to get better details and to work better with a shorter tip that's closer to the skin rather than working with the longer tips. However, if I lose any of the others, I may just start using those, but only if I lose one of these, which there's so many here that if I did lose one, I don't think it would be a big deal. But yeah, this is pretty much what's included in the kit. You get 2 bottles. They do not come with henna inside of them. I just put henna in this one because I used it for a tutorial that's up here on the channel, and I'll link that tutorial below. It's the one I talked about earlier where I show myself using this particular bottle. But it comes with 2 bottles, and these are 1 ounce bottles, and then each one comes with a cap. And the cap pretty much looks like that, and you can hook any of the tips on to the cap. They all fit pretty snug and they don't pop off. I can 100% tell you that because I just used it. So they just kind of screw on like that, pretty easy. And this comes off, the whole lid comes off pretty easy. So you can put henna on the inside. I like that the bottle has a pretty wide opening. Sometimes when you get applicator bottles, the opening is really tiny and so it can be difficult to get henna in there, but these were really easy. I just used like a carrot or piping bag that I store my henna paste in, and it went in really easy. And then the bottles are really soft and easy to squeeze. Sometimes when you have harder bottles, they're harder to squeeze and you get hand fatigue and your hand starts to hurt. So definitely having a softer bottle is really important. The only thing that I don't like about these bottles is that they have a seam on the bottom and on the sides. Though in using them, I haven't found that the seam was splitting or that any henna was leaking out of the seam, but I just prefer to have bottles that don't have seams on the side like that. I used to have an online store where I sold henna supplies. I don't have one anymore, but my bottles didn't have seams around the side like that. Just for that specific reason, because I thought over time if there's a lot of pressure they might split. So far I've been using the bottle and I haven't had that issue, but I just thought I would point that out. I'll put a couple of different links in the information box to different bottles that I recommend, including this kit here, which so far that I've used it, it's been really good. These bottles also come with regular caps without the little nozzle on it. So if you just want to take your henna, transport it somewhere, but you don't want it to leak out, because this cap here, this is the other one that was on the bottle, that has an opening. So if you just have this on the bottle, the henna is going to leak out of there. So it's really cool to have that top available to you if you want to transport your henna. Also, because they've included so much in this kit, I'm telling you, it's a really good deal. They have these little orange guys, and these are closed at the top, so there's no hole. These aren't tips at all. So I guess if you want to take your henna with you somewhere, throw it in a bag, and you don't want it to leak, you can just pop this guy on, and your henna won't leak out. So there's two ways to do that. You can use this cap, or you can just put one of these on. I'd probably just put one of these on, but you know, they're nice brightly colored, so if they get lost at the bottom of a bag, you could probably find it pretty easily, but this might be better in case you don't want to lose one of these. But there's so many options here. It's kind of cool what you can do. But pretty happy with the kit. The tips are easy to switch out, so you can take them off while there's henna in the bottle, and you see there's henna in the tip there. Or maybe not, it's kind of dark, you may not be able to see it. But there is henna in the tip, and you can switch out to different sizes of tips. So I know that may be a common question that many of you will have, is how do I get different sizes in my lines? You can either double up on your lines, or you can switch the tip sizes out. With the stainless steel tips, which is specifically why I bought this one, because I like these tips. And I needed to replace the bottles that I had and the tips that I had, so I just bought new ones. Oops, I lost one. It has the gauge 20, let's see, what is this one? 18 and 16, and I have gauge 19 on the bottle. So it has these different sizes and the numbers are on there. The higher the number, the smaller the tip is, just so you know. Come on, focus. There we go. So 20 is the smaller tip, and then the 16 is the bigger tip. So it has a bigger opening on it, and you can get more henna out of that, and you can get a finer line using this one. So I haven't used the 20, but I have used the 19, which I think is pretty good. I might switch to the 20 and see how fine the lines get. Now, one thing with this is that you're going to want to make sure that your paste is thin but not watery, because you don't want it to smear everywhere easily. So you may have to use a really finely sifted henna powder. The henna powder that I've used in my last couple of videos, I'll go ahead and put a link in the information box below so that you can give it a try if that's something you're interested in. But I would go for henna powders that are double or triple sifted, that are really fine, and then mix them really well. And you may want to strain your henna paste before you put it in the bottle. That way the tip won't get clogged. So those are just my tips for using applicator bottles. You can use those tips with just about any bottle you use, whether it's one that's like this or a jack bottle or a syringe. They're pretty easy to refill. I did a mandala with this, and there's still quite a bit of henna paste in there actually. So a little bit of henna paste goes a very long way, and that's whether it's in a bottle or a cone, it doesn't matter. There's still quite a bit in there. You can see it in there. So if you're finding that you're using applicator bottles and the henna paste isn't coming out very easily, it most likely means that either your henna paste needs to be strained or it's too thick and you may need to thin it out a little bit. And also sometimes the tips get clogged. If you just have like a push pin or a hair pin, you can stick it in the tip of it. That's not something that comes with the kit, but you can pick that up at pretty much any store or craft supply, or you know, just pins that you use when you're sewing or whatnot. So anyway, if you have any questions about this particular bottle set or how to apply using an applicator bottle, feel free to put your comments and your questions in the comment section below. I do have one video up, I did mention that earlier, where I've used this particular bottle. That link is going to be in the comment section and in the information box on this video. And then also I'll probably do additional videos with this bottle. I really like it. It's really easy to apply. It's really easy to fill. And also, if you're wanting to be zero waste and be more conscious about how much trash you're creating, using an applicator bottle is a much better option than using disposable cones. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to be more earth friendly. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.